thankful because I was able to go into the school for the first time in 20 months to do an assembly. And it just so happens that the school are following a theme of thankfulness this term. So I thought it'd be good for us to share what the school is doing about thankfulness. I was also thankful to see the 2 new classrooms that's been constructed and how wonderful they are. They don't stick out like a sore thumb. They kind of blend in with all the other aesthetics of the school. So there are some things I've been giving thanks for this week. I'm going to ask you a question. What is the best present that you've ever had? What's the best present you've ever had? Your children. Oh, bless you. Come on, what's the best present you've ever had? A dog. Toys. Any over here? What's the best present you've ever had? Friendship. That's a big, real positive, isn't it, if we have friends? Well, I'm going to show you a gift that I received while I was on my holiday. It was also my wedding anniversary. So I don't know if you could guess what it is. It's quite heavy. It's from Aldi as well. There we are. It's from Aldi. Here we go. It's a polisher. It's a polisher. You can polish things with this. Get that nice and shiny, look. You can even polish my head with it. That's good. Look at that. That's a man gift, isn't it? Look at that. I was really thankful for this because I like cars and motorcycles, and I like to make them shiny when I go out on them. So that was an excellent present. I was really thankful for that. I got Dawn a book on birds. But she said thank you for that. Now, I don't know about you, but in society, in the world we live in our community, I get the feeling that there's not as much thankfulness as there once was. I remember as a young lad, I'd go out in the car with my granddad, and back then, there was like an unwritten rule that if you stopped to give way to someone else who's coming the other way in the car, they'd wave to you, and you'd wave back. Now, these days, I bet 1 in 10, if we think about the story, 1 in 10 might not have waved back then. But now I feel as though 1 in 10 do wave when you let them through. 1 in 10 might wave. There's a real change in thankfulness in the world that we live in. Jesus tells us this story. Have we all heard of leprosy? Have you heard of leprosy at the back? We've heard of leprosy. It's the disease, a terrible skin disease that affects hands and toes, and it's really painful. It can, all the sensation can go out of them, and you can lose fingers and toes. But Jesus was healing these people with these terrible diseases. They were outcasts, treated like someone with the COVID virus. We've got this comparison today with people had leprosy back then. People, their families didn't even want to talk to them sometimes. They'd be feeling really rubbish about themselves. But Jesus came along and called out to them, and he did something amazing. He touched the men, even though they had this terrible disease. No one did that back then, in case that they caught it as well. But Jesus did. And we know what happened, of course. They were all healed. They no longer had that terrible disease. A really amazing miracle occurred. One of the men came back and said thank you to Jesus. He looked at him and asked the man if he was the only one of the 10 who had been healed. The man said no, they all had, but he was the only one who came back to say thank you. They were probably all caught up in the healing that they'd received and wanted to dance and celebrate and go and tell everyone. But only one of them found it within his heart to come back and to give thanks to the Lord for all he's done. So with my polisher in mind, I want to, again, it's quite loud, isn't it? Can't wait to get polishing. Unfortunately, Dawn's asked me to do the table before I can do the car. I just want to use that image of polishing as a kind of illustration about our relationships with Jesus and with each other. That really to help us to evolve as people and church, we need to have that thankful heart. We need to polish that relationship with Jesus. We need to give thanks for all he's done for us. It's a two-way street. He has given everything for you and for me by his death and resurrection. He's done all the hard work. We have to give thanks for all that he's done for us. We need to polish that relationship so that we have that two-way street of self-respect, of mutual respect and dependence upon the Lord. So I want to urge you this morning to give thanks in all things, even when we're feeling rubbish and we don't feel like there's much to give thanks for. Let us all have a thankful heart and give thanks for all the good things that we have. Amen.